Deep down in the sunny depths of Project Nigel land, you find me. You see squirrels, you hear birdies, you see an array of cars that don't belong to me. And not only that, we witness the occasional arrival of gifts. Gifts. Should you have the need, the desire to send gifts to the land of Project Nigel, that is the address. I'm not hiding it. Unless you're sending anthrax. I know what this is. And it's come in a rather important looking envelope. Envelope. Bubble wrapped and new with a first class postage stamp on it. You're going to wonder why this needs a padded envelope. It's a 5. It's an R. Well, I'll show you. As you can see, the badging of the back of the Rover 52. I'm a bit surprised because I thought I was getting the badging for a Rover 25. I suspect he's just sent the letters in the wrong order. Actually, these letters are for Eric. I had the idea of somehow rearranging the letters to make it more unique, but thought perhaps there wasn't enough letters there, and then somebody else in my comments gave me an idea. Yes, deep down into the dungeon of ugly desperation, to go and switch the water on. My original idea for this was to take the letters off and rearrange them into an anagram of Rover, but well, there aren't any. That's the trouble. There aren't any anagrams of Rover. You can remove one letter and make something. You can have an anagram of many combinations of the different letters in there, but none of them are 5 letters and only a few are 4. So that became a bit of a pointless idea. But then somebody suggested on the back of that it should say RovERIC. Yeah, because it's called Eric and he's a rover, and the 2 words will combine to make one made up word. Of course, Eric as an I and a C, which don't appear in the word rover at all, so I've got to use these rover letters and cut them down so they do make the correct word. Just watch. There's the R with a bit cut off, which is here, and I'm just going to file the edge down so it just turns into an I. Carefully cut into a C. I'm going to round that. Oh yes, I want to flatten that. I know what I'm doing. Turns out I don't know what I'm doing quite as well as I thought. Got a slight crack on the C now, but you won't notice it when it's stuck on there. I've got to decide whether I like this or not now, and I'm not sure I do actually. Certainly distinctive. It looks the spacing. What about the spacing? Yeah, there is clearly a fine line between tacky and different, and I'm not sure which one this is straddling, but at least it can be easily rectified and fixed back into as it was before, if I decide it is tacky. And somebody in these comments are going to tell me that it is tacky and that it's horrible and I should get myself a job at the post office instead of messing around with these things. But it is quite simply a matter of just making a car that's going to be a classic one day into something slightly more individual. And whether I like this or not seems to depend on which angle I'm actually looking at it from. Yeah, it seems to work. From here it does as well. Actually, do you know what? Maybe I do like it. What would you say is the worst thing about washing your car? Getting wet? Getting cold? Not this time of year, it's not. No, the worst thing by a long way is clean cars show their scratches very, very well. Yes. Caused by lack of care, by people who slide boxes on roofs, by people who use scouring pads to remove bird poo. There comes a point where I find myself thinking, I don't want another time-lapse edition of me removing scratches, so I didn't bother filming the next bit. And then that meant that when I started putting this video together, it didn't really make any sense due to continuity issues. Not that that normally bothers me, but I am actually speaking now from about a week later. Right, back to the action. I think this may well be the best ever example of me removing scratches ever. Have a look at this. Look, completely gone. How the jeffing hell have I managed that, eh? That is the best job I have ever done. I'm well pleased with that. So you might be thinking, how did I manage to do that? Because those deep scratches just don't really come out, do they? No, you have to take a different route altogether. You can't grind away something that isn't there. So I just I re-lacquered it. Yeah, that's all I did. 2,500 grit paper, got it all nice and smooth, just sprayed it over a couple of times. Then today, rubbed it back. Excellent. I'm going to do that again. Nobody's really going to point that out and say, oh, that's been re-lacquered, that, hasn't it? No, because I've actually done a decent job. That's amazing. I don't normally do that. This video should be finished now, but I'm just not satisfied. I want more things to go on in it, partly because it's only 7 minutes long, and also because if you want to feel like these videos are good value, they're no good being 7 minutes long. They need to be 10 minutes long. So before I finish off today, I'm going to do another job on Eric. So why don't I re-tackle this? It looks better than it did do, but it doesn't bear close inspection. I'm going to put loads and loads of high build primer on this. That should help. That should help. And look, there's no way it's going to rain, so I can leave it out overnight to dry. There, that looks better, doesn't it? Well, maybe tomorrow when I can rub this back, I can get a half decent result out of this. I was going to end the video just here, because it was going to end just over here before, wasn't it? It was going to be the end of the video, but then I thought, I need to do this as well. And now I'm in two minds again, because otherwise it's leaving the paint job on a bit of a cliffhanger. There. Should I or shouldn't I? That's the question.